The holiday season can be overwhelming for many, from buying gifts to preparing dinner for friends and family. This time of year can be stressful for more reasons than one. However, one concern that's sometimes overlooked during the holidays associated with big feasts are those struggling with an eating disorder. Caroline Garrison is a registered dietitian with Novant Health. She says the holidays can pose trigger opportunities because most events involve food. Her first piece of advice is to come in with a plan.
Maybe even coming up with some situations like well-meaning family members or friends who want to talk about weight loss or diets, and having the tools in place that that person feels confident and comfortable in redirecting the conversation, or stepping out of the room for a break, or just kind of getting out of the situation that would be triggering in that way.
In addition to having a plan, Garrison recommends having a support system, practicing self-care, and setting healthy boundaries with friends and family.
And then reminding yourself, it is the holiday season. We don't want to have that only focused on the food, but also, having that time with family and friends. And I always encourage my patients, maybe start a holiday tradition that doesn't revolve around food, right? So going to look at Christmas lights, or whatever would kind of work for your group of family or friends.
Reports show nearly 30 million Americans will experience an eating disorder in our lifetime. If you or you know someone who's battling this, we do have the disorder helpline number listed at the bottom of our screen here.
Talk about pressure if you have an eating disorder. And I mean, wouldn't you say 90% of events around the holiday focus around food, around the table? That's big time pressure for those folks.
I really like the point that she made about having a support system. I imagine any disorder that you're dealing with can be difficult to suffer in silence or feel like you're alone.
Sure.
So, I mean, even just telling one loved one about a problem. Now, granted, I imagine it's very difficult to open up to somebody about that, but I mean, even just having that one person can make a huge difference if you're trying to
Navigate through it.
Yeah, well, and that person can steer a conversation away from
Absolutely.
certain things, go with them to, let's go outside for a minute, just to have a little break, little pressure cooker. You have to vent the pot every now and again.
Talking to Caroline earlier, she made some other great points, saying in general, a lot of us during the holidays, especially for the new year, we put so much critique on ourselves, saying I'm going to lose this amount of weight, or I'm not going to eat this after this meal. Kind of just taking the focus off of food and more on friends and family, and gathering together in the holidays, and just giving yourself grace, just live a little.